What's up, guys? It's Austin from Yu-Gi-Oh! Theory. Today I'm going to show you guys my Gradle Kaiju deck. It's a pretty good deck. It's pretty cheap. Works really well together. The Gradles and the Kaijus, because the Kaijus tribute your opponent's monsters to special summon them on their side of the field to disrupt them. And then the Gradles, if they leave the field by certain ways, then you steal your opponent's monster. It's pretty good. Anyway, let's get right into the deck profile. Okay, guys, first of all, for the Gradle engine in this deck, you run 2 Graydle Slime. What he does is you pick 2 monsters that are on your field, destroy both. I think it's Graydle, Graydle cards. Yeah, just Graydle cards. You can pick 2 Graydle cards on the field, destroy both of them, special summon this, and then whenever it's summoned like this, you special summon a Graydle monster from your graveyard. It's pretty good. It's almost a instant synchro summon for a level 8. He's pretty much the star of the deck on the Graydle side of things. Most of the Graydles are pretty good though. So that's it for Graydle Slime. Just put him up there. Next we have Graydle Alligator. What he does is, if he's destroyed by traps or battle, you equip him to send to the graveyard. You equip him to one of your opponent's monsters, and you take control of it. And then whenever this card leaves the field, destroy the monster that it's equipped to. I use the effect pretty often. Usually I'll set them and then wait for them to go into them, and then just blam, steal their monster. And next card is Cradled Eagle. What he does is basically the same thing, except instead of spell cards, it's monster effects. And next is Graydle Cobra. You only run 2 of him because it's for trap cards. That's basically all I have to say. Instead of monster effects and spell cards, it's trap cards. So that's it for the Gradle engine. Only, well, monster-wise, it's only 4 cards. Now for the Kaiju engine, you run 2 Gamma Seal. What he does is you remove 2 Kaiju counters from anywhere on the field, and if someone activates effect, you remove 2 counters from anywhere on the field, and you negate and banish the card that the effect was activated. This is one of the better cards out of the Kaijus. He has low attack but pretty good defense. To be honest, I don't really use their effects that much. I probably should, but I don't play with them that much. So, Next is Star Destroyer. What he does is basically the same thing, except instead of banishing it, you just choose 1 card on the field to destroy. So not as good, but he does have better attack. So that's what he's better for, is switching, giving him to you, and then giving your opponent like some crappy monster. And for the next card is Lightning Strike. He's really good. What you do is you take off 3 counters from anywhere on the field, and your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of this turn, and also he can attack up to 3 times on monsters this turn. And for the next card is the Doggo-Ran, the Mad Flame Kaiju. What he does is, once per turn, you can destroy all your opponent's monsters with removing so many counters. I think it's only 1. Seems like it'd be more. And then I only use 1 Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine Mecha Dogoran. Dogoran. Don't know why I put an R in that. But yeah, Dogoran. He's alright. You remove 2 counters, and then you can equip 1 Kaiju monster from either your hand or your graveyard, and he gains attack equal to the combined Kaijus on this card. So he's alright. Most of the time I use him as a target for uninterrupted Kaiju Slumber. So that's it for the Kaiju engine. Monster wise, it's only 5 cards. So Now let's go into the spells. Okay, first up on spell cards, we have Gradle Impact. What this card does is you can target one other Gradle card you control and one card your opponent controls, and you can destroy them. And during the end phase, you can add one Gradle card from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty good. I use it a lot as a target for Greater Slime, and then I only usually do that if I have another one in my hand. So, and it's continuous, so you get constant searching. You can't really go wrong with searching. So, and our next card is Uninterrupted Kaiju Slumber. This is one of my favorite cards. I'm probably going to bump it up to 3 and maybe take out one of the Call of the Haunted because I don't really need them. I just have them in here just because I don't really know. I'm a weird one. What you do is you destroy all the monsters on the field, and then you special summon 2 kaiju monsters, one to your side of the field, one to your opponent's. Usually, for you, you would target like Lightning Strike or one of the ones that have 3,300, and for them, you give them the Mecha Anti-Beast, Anti-Titan, Anti-Kaiju. And it has 0 attack, so they just take 3,300 uninterrupted, and I might bump him up to 2 and then bump this up to 3. Next card is Kaiju Files. I barely ever use this card. Each time a Kaiju monster is a special summon, you can add 1 counter, max 5. Once per turn, you can target one Kaiju monster on the field, destroy that target, then special summon 1 Kaiju monster with a different original name from your deck to its controller's field. You can send this card with 3 or more Kaiju counters to the graveyard, and add 1 Kaiju spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. That's decent. I'd probably use it more with Mecha Beast and just you go to my opponent's side of the field and switch it out for something really weak, and then just swing over it for a good bit of damage. You run 2 Kyoto Waterfront. It's pretty good. Each time a card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you place a counter on this, and then once per turn, while there are 3 counters on this card, you can add 1 Kaiju monster from your deck to your hand. It's good. Yeah, it's a good effect, and you can protect this card by removing 1 counter from it. So, really drives a lot of your Kaiju plays with this. It being able to get counters whenever a card goes to the graveyard, and then you can add a Kaiju to your deck to your hand. And then 1 Foolish Burial. It's pretty self-explanatory. You send Gradle to grave, and then activate his effect from the grave, and Gradle Slime, and yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Onto the traps, which I'm just not even gonna do a cut for it. There's not that many. Call the Haunted. You know what it does. Just special summon 1 monster from your graveyard, and then destroys. This card gets destroyed. Pretty self-explanatory. Graydle Split. It's all right. You target 1 face-up monster you control. Equip this card to it. It gains 500 attack. During your range phase, you can send this card equipped to a monster by this effect to the graveyard. Destroy the monster this card was equipped to, and if you do, special summon 2 Gradle monsters with different names from your deck, but destroy them during the end phase. You can only use the effect of Graydle Split once per turn. Usually you target Slime and then one of your other Gradle monsters for that. I haven't played this deck in a while, so I have to read a lot of the effects. You play 1 Judgment of Anubis. It's pretty good. You discard 1 card from your hand to negate the activation, to negate and the effect. Negate the activation and the effect of a spell card controlled by your opponent. That includes the effect of destroying spell or trap cards on the field and destroy it. So it's kind of like an anti-MST. And then you can destroy 1 face-up monster your opponent controls on their side of the field and inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack and destroy the monster. So that's pretty good. Just anti-MST basically. For the next card is Magic Cylinder. It's pretty self-explanatory. Everyone knows what Magic Cylinder does. Just stopping them from attacking me with my own kaiju monster. Dark Bribe, same thing. Well, not really the same thing, but just stop them from activating trap and spell cards effects. You negate one of their trap or spell cards and they draw a card. Pretty common. A lot of people use Dark Bribe. Next card is Skill Drain. You pay 1,000 life points. The effects of all face-up effect monsters are negated. Kind of like a Majesty's Fiend, but a little different. This is a lot cheaper, so I got that. And then one Kaiju Capture mission. Once per turn, if there are less than 3 Kaiju counters on this card, you can target one Kaiju monster on the field, change it to face down defense position, then place one Kaiju counter on this card, max 3. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can draw 2 cards. You can only use the effect of Kaiju counter mission once per turn. That is a really good card. I'm thinking about bumping it up to 2 and taking out one of the Call of the Haunted, or maybe 2 of the Call of the Haunted, because I usually only use the Call of the Haunted to get back my synchros. So, and then one Grand Horn of Heaven, Premium Gold Rare. These are about $1, just a cheaper alternative to Solemn Strike, because Solemn Strike's about $30. Overall, most of the cards in this deck are pretty cheap. The Gradles are especially cheap. The only thing that'll run you up is maybe Gamma Seal, and the Judgment of Anubis is like $10. If you don't need a Judgment of Anubis, you can get something else. You can get Malfunction if you want. Sorry about that. I'm kind of sick lately. Well, that's it for the main deck. I guess we'll go for the extra deck. Okay, guys, for our extra deck, it's pretty limited. First, we have 2 Red Dragon Archfiends. He's pretty good. After damage calculation, if you attack a defense position monster, you destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls, and you also destroy all the monsters. Oh my god. Why is it all doing that? Ugh. Monsters you control during the end phase. And you also destroy all other monsters you control that did not make an attack this turn. So, he's alright. He's just a pretty good level 8 synchro that you can go for. My extra deck isn't very extensive because I don't have $40 just to spend on just my extra deck. So I'm lucky that I have a clear wing in my side frames. I have one hot red dragon archfiend. I'd probably use this to go to 2 if I wasn't so cheap. Once returned during your main phase 1, you can destroy all other face-up attack position monsters on the field. Monsters other than this card cannot attack the time you activate this effect. So, say you only have him and you destroy all the monsters, and then they're using Cosmos or some other bullshit, and they just activate their effects just to special summon something else out of their hand after you just blew up their field. They can attack. So, it's pretty good. And I only have 1 Gradle Dragon. I want 3, but they're kind of expensive. So, what he does is, when he is synchro summoned using water type monsters, you can destroy up to the number of water type monsters you use for his synchro summon on the field. Like, you can destroy 2 cards if you used them with Graydle Slime and then any other Graydle monster. If you only use a Graydle Slime and then something else, then it's only 1 card you can blow up. But it's pretty good. It has 3,000 defense, which goes pretty good with Archfiends that also have 3,000 attack and 3,000 defense. So it goes pretty good with the other Archfiends. But that's it for my extra deck. Pretty small. Wish I had more cards in it, but money doesn't grow on trees. So guys, thanks for watching. This has been my Kaiju Gradle deck profile. Really appreciate you guys checking it out. Like and subscribe. Comment if you want any other deck profiles of different decks. My friends have a lot of decks, so if I don't have it, I can maybe get a hold of it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Peace.